The fall of a husband, the rise of a woman. Daniel Malik was a man who believed he had mastered the world. Successful, businessman, respected in society, known in elite circles and envied by many. But behind the fancy watch, behind the polished shoes and tailored suits, behind the confident laugh he shared with colleagues, there existed a secret he guarded like a second life. A secret that whispered danger every time his phone buzzed. A secret wrapped in red lipstick and high heels. Her name was Serena. For months, Daniel had been slipping into the shadows of the city, meeting Serena in expensive restaurants and luxury cars, always calculating, always pretending, always smiling for two different worlds. At home, his wife, Amina, believed she had a loving husband, a loyal man, a grounded man, a partner who promised her the world the day he placed a ring on her finger. But in truth, Daniel had been living two realities, one built of vows and one built of lies. Tonight, those realities were about to collide. Daniel checked his reflection in the mirror of the elevator as it rose toward the penthouse suite of Emerald Crown Hotel, the most luxurious five-star resort in the city. He had booked this place for Serena's birthday, choosing the most expensive suite, complete with gold-threaded curtains, marble floors, and a private rooftop garden. He held a bouquet of roses in one hand, his phone in the other, already texting Serena that he was minutes away. His heart raced, not with love, but with thrill, with recklessness, with the adrenaline of forbidden adventure. The elevator doors slid open, and Serena, dressed in a silk red gown, stood waiting with a smile that spelled danger. She flung her arms around him, and the two disappeared into the suite like thieves entering a treasure vault. Hours passed. Laughter echoed against the marble walls. Glasses clinked. Music floated through the dim lights. Daniel sank deeper into the illusion he had built, forgetting the vows he once made, forgetting the woman who stood by him through poverty, struggle, and loss. Serena whispered meaningless praises into his ear, and he let himself believe them. But destiny has a way of striking when arrogance blinds the human heart. Downstairs, chaos was unfolding. A convoy of luxury cars rolled up to the entrance of Emerald Crown Hotel. Security guards rushed to line up. Staff hurried to prepare. Cameras from news channels lit the lobby like a film set. The new owner of the hotel empire was arriving today. A mysterious buyer had purchased all 3 branches of the Emerald Crown chain in the biggest deal of the year. Employees whispered eagerly, trying to catch a glimpse of the powerful figure walking through the doors. The tall glass doors slid open, and in stepped Amina Malik, calm, elegant, radiant, fierce. Her employees froze. The world froze. Even the manager nearly dropped his tablet, because Amina, quiet, soft-spoken, gentle Amina, had transformed into a woman of unshakable power. She had built her success quietly, slowly, patiently, becoming a top real estate investor without ever flaunting her wealth. Daniel never noticed. He never asked. He never cared. And now she stood at the entrance of her newest purchase, a hotel her husband had been using for betrayal. The staff surrounded her, welcoming her, guiding her through the lobby as reporters snapped photos. She smiled politely, maintaining the posture of a woman who knew exactly who she was. But inside, she carried something heavier than pride. She carried knowledge, painful, devastating knowledge. A week ago, an anonymous message was sent to her phone, pictures of Daniel with Serena, their hands intertwined, their faces too close, their smiles too familiar. At first, Amina broke down, her world shattered. But after the tears, something inside her awakened. A strength that had slept quietly beneath the surface finally rose. She decided she would not confront Daniel with screams or threats. No, she would confront him with truth and power. So when she discovered he had booked the penthouse suite for tonight, she smiled, heartbroken, but certain, because fate had placed her exactly where she needed to be. As Amina walked toward the CEO elevator, the hotel staff pressed buttons, bowed respectfully, and guided her with pride. But little did they know she was walking straight toward the man who had underestimated her more than anyone else. The confrontation, the collapse, the rise. Upstairs in the penthouse suite, Daniel lay on the velvet couch while Serena fed him chocolates and giggled about how wives are clueless. Breeches, Daniel laughed too, carelessly, foolishly, confidently, never imagining that his clueless wife was moments away from stepping into the same room. Serena held up her phone and snapped a photo of them together, planning to post it later, unaware that the story they were living would soon become a nightmare neither of them expected. Then the door beeped. Beep, beep, beep. Serena froze. Daniel sat up, confused. No one had the keycard except him, unless room service had made a mistake. He walked slowly toward the door, still adjusting his shirt, still intoxicated by his false sense of control. The door handle turned. The door opened, and there stood Amina, not screaming, not crying, not trembling. She stood tall, dressed in a royal blue blazer, her hair tied neatly, her eyes calm but powerful. Too powerful. A queen entering a room full of traitors. Daniel's soul left his body for a moment. Amina, what are you doing here? He stuttered, stepping back like a guilty child. Serena's jaw dropped. Her confidence evaporated. She grabbed the bedsheet to cover herself, suddenly realizing the weight of the disaster crashing upon her. Amina stepped inside slowly, scanning the room with eyes that held storms within them. She glanced at the roses, the wine bottles, the discarded clothes. She took a deep breath, not of weakness, but of closure. I'm here, she said softly, because this hotel now belongs to me, and the owner is allowed to inspect every room, including this one. Daniel collapsed into a chair. His heart raced, his hands shook. Amina, please, I can explain. But she raised her hand. She didn't want explanations. She wanted truth. She wanted clarity. She wanted the dignity she had been denied. Daniel, she said in a steady voice, I gave you everything. My loyalty, my patience, my prayers, my youth, my trust. But you decided my love wasn't enough. So you searched for entertainment elsewhere. Serena gulped hard and quickly stepped aside, realizing she was outmatched and out of place in the presence of a woman like Amina. Amina turned to her. You may leave. Serena didn't argue. She grabbed her purse and ran out of the suite like a shadow fleeing daylight. Now only the husband and wife remained. Daniel fell to his knees. Amina, please. I made a mistake. I was stupid. You were ungrateful, she cut in. You were careless. You were blind to the woman standing beside you. Tears filled Daniel's eyes. He couldn't comprehend how the woman he once thought powerless now stood above him, strong, composed, unbreakable. Amina slowly placed her wedding ring on the table. I didn't come here to fight, she said. I came here to end this chapter. Daniel grabbed her hand. No, Amina, don't do this. Please, I can change, I swear. But Amina gently pulled her hand away. Change? She whispered. You couldn't even stay loyal long enough to notice. I became the owner of a hotel chain. You didn't see my success because you were too busy chasing temptation. Silence. Deep, painful silence. Then Amina turned toward the door, paused, and looked back one last time. Daniel, life gives us choices, and tonight I choose myself. She walked out, leaving Daniel trapped in the consequences of his own betrayal. As the elevator doors closed around her, Amina exhaled. She wasn't just leaving a husband behind. She was stepping into a new world, one built not on tears, but on strength, dignity, and self-worth. And for Daniel, he understood something too late.